Hi everyone, welcome to this week's version of the weekly wrap up. It was an awesome week here in third and fourth grade filled with lots of fun and excitement and a lot of learning. With reading this week, we took a little step back from our cafe strategies and looked specifically at letters. Right now, what we're looking at is vowel sounds. So the vowels in English are the letters A, E, I, O, and U. And those letters make different sounds depending on where they are in a word. So this week we really jumped in to listening to those sounds. For example, here is the word at, and this vowel sound is a. And when we put different letters in front of it, we can create new words that the students can then read. At, bat. So right now we're looking at the different sounds that letters make, and we're looking for those words that make those vowel sounds in our Good Fit books. And we're also trying to apply those sounds, the strategies that we know for hearing the sounds into our writing. So if I was going to write the word bat, I'm going to listen carefully to what I'm saying. B-at. Okay, there are three sounds there. B. Okay, I'm going to write the letter that makes that sound. A. Okay, I'm going to write the letter that makes that sound. T. I'm going to write the letter that makes that sound and put it together. And now I've spelled the word bat. So over the next week and a half or so, we're going to be diving in a little bit closer to each of the letters, each of those five vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, and looking at what sounds are made depending on where they are in the letters. With writing this week, some of you might have already heard your children. They were writing creative stories. We touched some slime the other day, and the students were then given the challenge to come up with a story, a creative writing piece where they had characters, a setting, a problem, and a solution, and somehow they had to incorporate that slime that they felt into their story. As the students are finishing up with them, they are recording them on their Class Dojo portfolio, so as they finish, you'll be able to hear them, read them to you, and then we'll be sending home the stories once everybody is finished with those. With science this week, we did look a little bit, the whole week had science in it, especially Wednesday. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But today we looked at how different objects move. And so we looked at a playground ball and a pumpkin, and we asked the children the question, how do you think they're going to move? Are they going to move the same way, or are they going to move differently when a force or a push is applied to them? And so today the students had a chance to either roll the playground ball down the hallway or roll a pumpkin down the hallway and see how they moved and if they were moving the same way or a different way. We found that different objects move differently depending on how much force is applied to them, what their surface is like, if there are any objects sticking out, and also what amount of friction the object is rubbing up against. So the floor was smooth, the carpet would be a little bit rougher, so it wouldn't travel as far. So that was really fun. The kids really enjoyed that today. The other thing that we did that was really fun this week with science was our pumpkin explorations. So you may have already heard from your students that on Wednesday, we filled the day with all of these different activities with our pumpkins. The students each were placed in groups and had the chance to estimate how much a pumpkin weighed, how much the pumpkin, how tall the pumpkin was, how wide the pumpkin was, what the circumference of the pumpkin was. Then they were able to actually figure out what the actual measurements were. How much did it weigh? How much height did it have? How wide was it? What was the circumference? Then they also were given the chance to estimate how many seeds would be inside the pumpkin. And then they had the chance to count them all out, which was tedious because a lot of the pumpkins had over 300 pumpkin seeds. But they did it. They all managed. There was no complaining. And then they were able to practice some of their math skills. Not to mention the estimating that I've already talked a little bit about. But then they were to create arrays, rows and columns with the pumpkin seeds. And they were also given the chance to divide those pumpkin seeds among their group equally, which proved to be a little bit of a challenge with four kids in each group and over 300 pumpkin seeds, but they did it. And so we're really proud of them. Additionally, with science, they were able to plant their pumpkin seeds either in soil or in a paper towel. And over the next few weeks, we'll be monitoring to see when those pumpkin seeds will start to sprout. And so different seeds will sprout at different times based on how they chose to plant them and also how they come out. So it's pretty exciting. The kids have been really excited every morning when they've come in. Can we go look at our pumpkin seeds? And I'm like, yep, go ahead, go check it out, go see what's happening, give it a little water if it needs it. So we'll see when they come out, and hopefully they do. As far as math, Wednesday we did lots of math with our pumpkins, but in our regularly scheduled math time, the third graders were reviewing frames and arrows, something that we've worked with before in second grade. This time we were looking at when the rules are including multiplication and division, so times 2 or divided by 2. The kids did really well with that, so continue practicing that at home, and I don't think we'll have any challenges there. Third graders will take their Unit 2 math test on Monday, so I did tell them that this weekend their homework, if you all say it's okay, is to practice their strategies on Prodigy. I have it aligned so that they're practicing the strategies that will be assessed on the test on Monday. When I've finished grading the test, I will send it home. Remember to send the blue sheet back to me. You get to keep the rest of it at home. Fourth graders this week were looking at shapes, quadrilaterals, so different shapes with 4 sides and 4 corners. And they also experimented a little bit with geometry and as far as different kinds of triangles and the angles that each triangle has, whether it's acute, a right angle, or obtuse. So they'll continue working on that, and that's a strategy that we did introduce way back in second grade, and they're building on that knowledge now again in fourth grade. As I said, Wednesday was our busy day of pumpkin explorations. I do want to just say thank you to our parent volunteers. We had 3 parent volunteers this time around: Temujin's mom, Michael's mom, and Caden's mom. Thank you so much for helping to make sure that the day was able to be successful. If you weren't able to volunteer this time, that's okay. No worries. You're helping me just by talking with your children every day at home about what they're doing in the classroom. A few other things that I want to just touch base with you on. There is no school on Tuesday, November 6th. It is election day, so please don't send your child to school that day. We will resume school on Wednesday, though. And then the other things that I would like to mention, yesterday a parent education night flyer went home. It's something like this. There's 2 sides. The PO staff is putting together a parent education night just to make sure that you as the parents know what we're teaching here at school. There are different sessions for Daily 5, which is something we use in the classroom. Words Their Way, which is something we'll be looking at, but it's not as prevalent in our classroom. I would highly encourage the Daily 5 presentation, and also Everyday Math, which is our math program and curriculum, so to hear more about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And then last but not least, specials. And our special area teachers have put together a presentation that's really beneficial for all parents to attend. So if you can attend that session, it's going to be on November 15th, which is not next Thursday, but the following Thursday. It starts at 6 p.m. We will be providing childcare, but we would really appreciate if you filled out the backside of the form with what sessions you would like to attend, so we as the teachers can be prepared, and as well as if you need childcare for your child, if they're going to be coming with you. We really want to make sure that the children are in a separate room so that you as the parents can really get all of the information, and that it's beneficial for you, and that the children are also safe. So we'll have some activities for them in a separate location. The other thing that went home today is this little, really bright lime green paper. This is for mini courses. If you are available in the month of February between 11:50 a.m. and 1 p.m., so the lunch hour, we would really love your support running the mini courses. So this green flyer tells you all about what mini courses are. It's something that our PTO offers, and it's really great. The kids love them. We just need lots of parent volunteers to help make it happen. So if you're available, please fill this out, and I can turn this into the PTO for you. If you have more questions, you can let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. And on Monday, going home is this green paper, and this is for our PTO fundraiser for the gift card fundraiser. They make really great presents for Christmas or Hanukkah or other holidays that are being celebrated, or if you know that you go somewhere very often, like Dairy Queen or Domino's, there are gift cards that you can purchase, and you purchase it for the amount that's in the packet, and then a portion of it goes back to the school, which is really great. It's like a cheap fundraiser for us because you're already going to shop at Domino's or go to Domino's, then some of the money comes back to post school. So again, if you have questions about this, you can let me know, and I'd be happy to talk with you about that more. It was a really great week here. I'm really excited to see all the rest of the learning that happens next week. Even though we have a day off, I know that even with a 4-day week, we can do lots of great learning. But for now, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.